Hello everyone, so this is GS Mains Paper 1, August 2017, part 3rd, and this is the last part. Okay, so let's talk about Triple Talaq Judgement. This is the 12th topic overall. So what has happened? This is a historic judgment, right? One after the other, right? Right to privacy, then Triple Talaq. So all these things were coming one after the other, means one after the other, and it is adding feathers to Supreme Court's cap, right? Now the thing is, this was not so simple. This was not a unanimous verdict. It was 3-2 verdict, right? 3 people or 3 judges voted in support of abolition of Triple Talaq. And two were opposed to it, right? So the majority view, there were 2 primary or 2 main majority view, right? So the 3 judges, they have given 2 specific, they have their separate 2 specific views. We'll talk about those 2 views. What were those 2 views? So the first view was that Hanafi jurisprudence finds Talaq Bid'at, that is the other name of instant divorce, right? So it is also called Talaq Bid'at. So Hanafi jurisprudence finds Talaq Bid'at permissible, but very jurisprudence castigates it as sinful. See, the thing is, Hanafi school, it is one of the 4 religious Sunni Islamic schools. So there are 4 Sunni Islamic schools. Hanafi is one of the 4 religious Sunni Islamic schools. So they are saying, these 2 judges said that Hanafi jurisprudence they make Talaq Bid'at permissible, but the same jurisprudence castigates it as sinful. So the thing is, if your Islamic school or if your religious school cast a particular thing as sinful, then it won't be covered under Article 25, because Article 25 is about freedom to propagate your religion, right? But the thing is, if something is sinful in your religion, so that won't be under the ambit of Article 25. So that's what they say. What they say, I will reiterate it again. They say Hanafi jurisprudence castigates Talaq Bid'at as sinful. So hence constitutionally it is not protected under Article 25. The second majority view, which voted for, or which pushed for abolition of Triple Talaq, or which made Triple Talaq a sinful offense. So they say that it is against the tenets of Holy Quran, and what is bad in theology is bad in law as well. So that means what Holy Quran actual teachings are, this Triple Talaq thing goes against the teaching of Holy Quran. So it is against the tenets of Holy Quran, and what is bad in theology is bad in law as well, right? The thing is, Supreme Court invoked, or in constitutional norms and Islamic canon, that means Islamic preachings and Islamic teachings, to bar instant talaq, right? So they invoke constitutional norms and Islamic canon to bar instant talaq, and it deserves commendation for undoing the gender injustice implicit in the practice so effortlessly, right? So Supreme Court does deserve Supreme Court did a commendable job, right? Because this thing was going on and on and on. So that's why the second statement is this, that Triple Talaq had such a long life in a secular republic is a reflection of failure of Indian politics. So if you go back in history, and if you go back in 1980s, lots of things happened because of which Triple Talaq case came into limelight and everything. So Indian politics has a critical role to play in the continuation of Triple Talaq. Otherwise, it would have gone, I think, 20 years back only, right? So such long life of Triple Talaq, it has been going on and on and on. Such long life of Triple Talaq is the result of failure of Indian politics. This whole thing, this disruption of communal harmony, or all these things happen because of the politics, and that reflects, such Triple Talaq is one such case, which is a reflection of failure of Indian politics. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. I'm not very well today, so maybe some glitches will be there, but still I will try to complete it as soon as possible, and I will try to complete it in the best way possible. So let's move on to the next topic. So the next topic is Saint Teresa, Baba Amte, and the concept of Daridra Narayan. So what is it? See, the thing is, for Saint Teresa or Mother Teresa, behind each case of leprosy, what is a leprosy? Leprosy is a bacterial disease, and it is caused by, if I'm not wrong, Mycobacterium leprae. So remember this, because they can ask, leprosy, is this viral or what? So it is a bacterial disease. So for Saint Teresa, behind each case of leprosy was a person who had suffered abject misery and humiliation. And like Baba Amte, Saint Teresa spent her life in actually living Swami Vivekananda concepts of Daridra Narayan. So this concept was given by Swami Vivekananda. And who were those 2 people who actually fulfilled or actually lived that concept? Baba Amte and Saint Teresa. So like Baba Amte, Saint Teresa spent her life in actually living Swami Vivekananda's concept of Daridra Narayan, in the service of God through service to the poor, destitute and marginalized. So what is the concept of Daridra Narayan? So according to the concept of Daridra Narayan, if you are helping poor, or if you are working for the poor, then it is equivalent to working for the God, right? So that is the concept of Daridra Narayan. Help poor and you are helping the God, or service poor and you are serving the God. So that is the whole concept of Daridra Narayan, and Baba Amte as well as Saint Teresa lived that particular concept. Okay. Now let's talk about Kapus community. They are in news because they are constantly demanding for reservation, right? And they are a community of Andhra Pradesh. This fact is, I think, more important from prelims point of view. How will you remember that Kapus community are from Andhra Pradesh? Because there are lots and lots of communities, and you have to remember it because they can give you, like A, B, C, D, Kapus, this and all those, and then you have to write A4, B3, C2 or something like that, D1. In that case, how will you remember Kapus are from Andhra Pradesh? Just remember, Kapus is K, right? So remember Kamal R Khan. Everybody knows him, right? Very cute figure and very controversial figure as well, right? Kamal R Khan from Kapus community, and Andhra Pradesh, Ajay Devgan. They had a fight. Kamal R Khan and Ajay Devgan had a fight. Similarly, Kapus community are fighting in Andhra Pradesh, right, for their reservation rights. So that's how you can remember Kapus, Kamal R Khan, and Andhra Pradesh, Ajay Devgan. That is the whole thing. Do remember it because this is the news, so it can come in some way or the other. Now let's talk about, this is a very important topic. Let's talk about women different role since independence. See, women are not confined only to the walls or behind the walls, right? They have done a lot of things after independence, right? There are different phases. Now, right now we'll talk about that phase which happened after 1947 or around from 1946-47 till now. So what are the different roles which women has acquired or which women has taken from that particular period? So first of all, Tibagga movement, right? In Tibagga peasant movement in Bengal in 1946-47, women organized themselves on separate platform of Nari Bahini, and they ran shelters and maintained lines of communication. So they played a critical role in Tibagga movement, which happened in 1946-47. Remember the timeline also, because again that can also come. So the thing is, in Tibagga movement, they organized themselves in separate platform of Nari Bahini, and along with the people, along with the men who were organizing their own movement, right, they provided a constant support, a constant motivation to them, and they ran shelters and maintained lines of communications. Similarly, Bhil tribal women's anti-liquor campaign in Maharashtra in 1972. So these Bhil tribal women, Bhil are from Madhya Pradesh also, and they are from Maharashtra also, that tribe, right? And some are in Chhattisgarh also, I guess. So Bhil tribal women's anti-liquor campaign was organized in Maharashtra in 1972. So again, there also women played a critical role. Let us talk about Seva. What is Seva? Seva is Self-Employed Women's Association. And what do? They help women in unorganized sector. So do remember what Seva. Seva constantly remains in news, right? Self-Employed Women's Association. What were the other roles of women since independence? They played a key role in Chipko movement also in 1974. Similarly, this Bhopal Gas Peedit Mahila Udyog Sangathan is there, which is helping the victims who suffered during that tragedy. Also, they are a very keen voter group, and there is a 1/3 reservation for them in Panchayats, and there is also a demand for giving them 1/3 reservations in central and state legislatures. So that is the whole thing. So you have to remember that women have played a different role in independence, and this is a type of topic now which you can write in any answer related to women, right? That they have played different roles. So you can give example of Seva, you can give example of Tibagga movement, you can give example of this Bhopal Gas Peedit Mahila Udyog Sangathan. So do remember these examples. These can be used anywhere and everywhere related to women. Means women related question, right? So you can write it anywhere and everywhere. Okay. Let's talk about section 377. So the thing is, after this right to privacy thing, everybody is talking that now the days are numbered for section 377. So let's talk about 377. So is it time to review section 377? Are section 377 days over? So again, there are 3 views. So we'll talk about all those 3 views. So let's talk about them one by one, right? So the thing is, the first view is saying that British got rid of it in 1960s in England. So there was a law similar to section 377 in England, and Britain got rid of it in 1960s, but we are still having it. And it was actually Britain or British government which inserted it in IPC 1860. Before that, this section 377 was not there. So India remains with countries it would not like to be associated with otherwise. So there are very few countries where this type of law is prevalent, and India is one of those few countries where law which is there in section 337 is prevalent, right? Now section 377 titled unnatural offences not penalized in India before 1860. As I told you, before IPC 1860, this section 377 on unnatural offences was not penalized. So at that time, gay people were also treated as people, right? Not like now where Gay people have no identity at all in India, right? That's why there are certain filmmakers in our country also who don't want to claim publicly that they are gay, right? Why? Because of the section 377 only. Now, gay men seen as criminals by law because of section 377 and feel like lesser human beings. So you are making, or you are, what is it, developing an inferiority complex among them, right? And they feel like lesser human beings. Now, while most people gain independence from British LGBT community, that is, lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender community, and gay man in particular, have remained changed to section 377. Most of the people got independence in 1947, but this LGBT community and gay people are still chained. They have not still get independence because this section 37 is stopping them from enjoying the full, full fruits, or from enjoying the fruits of independence. They are still chained. They are still not independent. And it is a very high time has come that these chains are broken. There's a very, very urgent need to break these chains, right? Now, this was the first view. What is the second view saying? Second view is saying that Supreme Court's earlier statement that section 377 rarely being misused and that it was only for legislature to repeal or amend the law. We talk about judicial overreach, we talk about judicial activism. So Supreme Court is saying, dude, why do we do all the work? Let legislature do the work. Nah? It is for them to amend or repeal the law. So that's what they are saying. And again, they also said that it is rarely misused. So that were the earlier statements of Supreme Court. Now the thing is, the second view is saying that we need a modified provision in law to punish such conduct against innocent children and non-consenting females who may not have courage to resist such demand from their husbands. So unnatural offences. See, section 377 is about gay people and all those things, fine, but it is also about unnatural offences. So unnatural offences can be conducted against women or against children or non-consenting females, right? So what this particular second view is saying that we need a modified law which protect children and non-consenting females from these unnatural offences. So that is the need. Now let's talk about the third view. What the third view is saying. So third view is saying that sex within same gender or sex out of wedlock is prohibited in Islam, right? So Islam does not allow sex within same gender, or if you have not done marriage or you are not married, then you cannot do sex. So that is prohibited in Islam. That is about Islam. But we are a country of many religions and nobody has a right to impose their view on others, right? That's the beauty of our constitution. So section 377 has to be read in totality and it must go. So all in all majority view is saying that section 377 has to go. So by that means, keeping that particular frame in mind, you have to frame your answer and you have to write your answer. Just remember, there are more points in favor of scrapping of section 377 than there are points which are against it. So you have to balance your answer in that particular way only. Okay, I will keep until here only. So the GS Mains paper 1 is done for August 2017, and after that I will take a break of 2-3 days, and after that I will cover second ARC and then we'll move on from there. Thank you.